Week in review, March 6, 2023. We're going to kick off and I'll cover a few comments first from last week. Robert Norris asked, what are the lightweight gear brands you recommend? For a lot of things I like to do, I find the lightest equipment from climbing brands. So look in the climbing world, specifically the alpinist world, to find the lightest packs, the lightest shells, the lightest climbing gear. I like Arc'teryx. In terms of pack, Hyperlight makes some really cool light packs that I really recommend. I've used their stuff a lot. Typically the tactical world, their stuff is so overbuilt and bomb-proof that comes at a cost, and the cost is extra weight. So I usually don't find stuff from the tactical world for my needs. Although in the hunting world now, there are, call it boutique companies, who are making lightweight gear that can be used in a tactical environment, like KUIU, and so they're doing a lot of cool stuff. Check them out too. Craig Howard, creating an amazing CrossFit experience for our members every day. Craig Howard, thanks for the comment. He is a significant figure in the NorCal affiliate scene, and honestly the CrossFit affiliate scene. He's been around for a very long time. He has his own podcast now. If you're looking for someone to take advice from or to hear his perspective on anything CrossFit, definitely check out his podcast. It might be the most significant CrossFit outside of ours CrossFit podcast in the space, talking about all things CrossFit. Last week I flew into Newark, and then that evening went to CrossFit Morristown. Good friend, Kariana. She used to own the gym, but she recently sold it to new ownership, and we dropped in at that gym, checked it out. They have a really cool box in Morristown, New Jersey, and I thought it was a standalone building, but apparently there's something attached to the back end. But nice brick layout on the outside, and then big spacious rectangle on the inside. So if you're in the Jersey area and you're looking for a gym to train, definitely check out Morristown. We went in the evening, it was snowing, and there was half a dozen people in there, chatted for a few minutes, and then went to dinner. The next day, we went to West Point, but actually before West Point, we did a little hotel workout with, Ben Allen, who I traveled there with, and so it was the two of us. They actually had a pretty decent hotel gym, and he does this thing whenever he goes there where he does, just to get the blood flowing, he said when he travels, if they have machines, he'll use the machines. And I have not used machines in probably decades. So really lightweight, did some knee extensions and hamstring curls on a machine, and then did some lat pull downs and some presses on a machine. So we went through that just to warm up, and then I programmed a little workout with they had a trap bar deadlift, so we did trap bar deadlift and run on the treadmill, put the incline at like 6, and then put the speed at 10 miles per hour. And so we ran for like, I think it was 100 or 200 meters while the other person deadlift and flipped back in course. After doing that bodybuilding stuff, I had to do some more traditional CrossFit stuff. From there, we then went to West Point, which I'd never been to West Point. I've been to the Naval Academy, haven't been to the Air Force Academy. But Naval Academy is really cool in Annapolis on the water. West Point's 180 out. It's up in the mountains, tucked away, and also really cool. Super. The buildings there's a lot of history there, and really old and beautiful looking. And enjoyed my time there. We started the trip or the visit with going to the gym and meeting up with the colonel in charge of the fitness education. And he showed us around, showed us the indoor obstacle course, which was pretty cool. He actually talked about Chandler, and I asked him what the fastest time on the indoor obstacle course at West Point is, and he said it's like 150 something. And I asked him what Chandler's time was, and he said probably in the 230s. So the course, you run through it once, you have to climb, go under, jump, go through, and then you climb up and you get on a track and you run around the track, I think 2 times. And you have to one time carry something, and the second time maybe it is you run with nothing, not carrying anything. So I imagine the fastest time probably came from someone who's really good at running, because running is such a big piece of it. Later on that day, we met with a few other people. Then we met with the supervisor, who's a 3-star general. That was pretty cool meeting with him and talking about his past, his history. He was actually, I was with CD years ago. He was actually at that team with CD, the other 3-star we're working with. And so I didn't meet him then, but we were at the same, I was attached to his unit at the same time, about almost 20 years ago at this point. So we had a good conversation. And the West Point trip overall, super cool, really unique place. It made me proud to be there and just see the students walking around, going through school, and just the excitement on their face, and how it looked like they were there for a purpose, and it was neat. I'm glad I went. Oh, so Chipotle is a sponsor, a partner of, or they were a partner, they sponsored 23.3, which is super cool. Great brand to, and if you're going to associate with a fast food brand, that's a really good one to associate with. But what I want to use this moment for is talk specifically to trainers and affiliate owners, and how to educate their clients and or people that come through their door who just see Chipotle as partnering with CrossFit or sponsoring CrossFit, and think that like it's a free pass to make poor choices in your nutrition when going into a Chipotle. So there's a ton of healthy options and a ton of ways to eat right in Chipotle, but there's also a few that are not right. And I think when that are not right in regards to how we prescribe you eat, which is traditionally a lower carb offering than mainstream diets and the traditional mainstream old school food pyramid. So you could quickly, even at a place like Chipotle, eat way too many carbs. And a majority of our clients and a majority of people doing CrossFit that aren't the 99% of the best in the world, they're not the CrossFit Games athletes or super fit. So we see all these super fit people through the open. We see them at the games. Even in the open, you see all these fit people at your gym. But that's not, that level of fitness isn't the majority of us, it's the minority. And underneath that level, there's a lot of people, a bulk of 95% of the people who do CrossFit are doing it to be healthy or to lose weight or just not for the goals of their level of fitness. And so for everyone else, excessive carbohydrate can be a problem, excessive consumption of carbohydrates. So, and even at a place like Chipotle, you can definitely cross that line. So some simple tips: don't get the burritos, that's an easy one. Do a burrito bowl, they call it, so no tortilla. Also, reduce the rice and beans. If you really want to have a burrito bowl with rice and beans, at least choose one or the other and then get half of the quantity. Doubling up on the meat isn't a bad thing, and or doubling up on the guacamole, but definitely avoid the chips. And this is, I'm talking to the trainers, but I'm talking to you guys in regards to trainers and affiliate owners, to how you should give recommendations to your clients. Because trainers and affiliate owners mostly know all of this stuff, but it's the clients who need to keep hearing the nutrition, keep hearing how to make good choices when you go, frankly, anywhere. If you go to McDonald's or you go to Burger King, get a, this is going to be controversial, but get a bacon cheeseburger and just drop the bun. So don't eat the bun, but eat the bacon and the cheeseburger, and that's a better choice than eating the bacon cheeseburger with the bun. Same sort of principles can be applied anywhere, and if you're going through a Chipotle, should be applied there. Specifically, not getting a burrito, not eating the chips, reducing the amount of rice and beans you eat, if eating them at all, and you can make really good choices there. Meat and vegetables, nuts and seed, some fruit, little starch, no sugar. That's the CrossFit prescription for how to eat for basically broad general guidelines. And then once you want to be more specific or increase performance or do something outside of just that general guidelines, we recommend you have to weigh and measure, or you have to take note, let's call it, of the quantity of macronutrients that you eat. And from there, once you set a baseline and you see how that perfects your either performance goals or your body goals, then you make adjustments to that baseline. The baseline we typically prescribe is 40-30-30. So 40% carb, 30% protein, 30% fat, which is generally a zone or based on the zone. And then from there, if your performance isn't where you want it to be, if it's too little food, we typically increase the fat prior to increasing the carbohydrate. But again, doesn't matter. You can play with both. You can play with any of them and see where you are optimally performing at. Big rant, but just basically want to reiterate, Chipotle, really good partnership. Excited to be working with them, but I want to make sure that CrossFitters know how to order intelligently at a Chipotle, and honestly, anywhere they go. So that the hard work they put in the gym isn't wasted by potentially poor choices while eating. Okay, cool. Comment, let me know what you think. Oh, last thing on the nutrition advice too. The last place, this is an important one. The last place this 95% percentile of CrossFitters should probably be looking for replicating how someone eats is the games athletes. Those guys train all day long. They have so much volume. They're able to get away with a less diet that I'm recommending. They're able to eat way more food and way more carbohydrate to sustain their activity level and where they're at in their journey. Although, and this will also be controversial, I still contend the majority of them are still eating way too many carbs. But that's a discussion for another day, and maybe we'll have it. Maybe I should link up with DeLauer and some of the other nutrition experts in the community and have some of these discussions. All right, thanks a lot.